Hey, it's Raktar, and today I'm going to be beginning a new series on my channel. That series is, as you can see, Oceanhorn. Now, you may also see that there is a playtime of 34 minutes on my file in this game, and that's because I started the game, and it turned out that I needed to update my fraps, and I hadn't been recording video for the first 30 minutes, and I recorded like 2 episodes of stuff, but I was like, I'm not gonna let that deter me. This is such a great game that I really just want to jump in and just start recording again. So I've already been through some of this, but hey, at least that means I kind of know what to expect this time in this game. It was kind of saddening, though, to say the least, when I went to edit my video and found out that I'd failed miserably. Usually when I'm starting a new game on the PC, I actually stop after like 10 minutes worth just to make sure that everything started, but I was so excited to start this game that I failed.
I'm leaving tonight and I'm not coming back, kid. My fate is tied to a monster from the depths of time. Oceanhorn. I hear its horrible sound echoing from the sea. It is coming for me again. This is all happening sooner than I thought, and I am forced to act. Whatever happens next, I'm not going to lose you like I lost your mother. This necklace is the last thing left of her. Keep it close and guard it well. I will give you my old notebook from my travels. It will guide your way to an island of a friend. He will help you to prepare for what is coming. I know I'm asking too much of you, but this is the only way to stop Oceanhorn.
Wake up. The time has come.
And now that brings us to the island of his friend, which of course I already know a lot about this island because I've already pre-explored it. But hey, that'll give me plenty of time to just kind of like freely just go run and grab everything. I already know though, from the first 30 minutes, I'm really enjoying this game so far. It's a neat game, it's got a neat art style. I'm going to try to go over the things that I went over in my original recording, because I also dropped the audio, because it's so much easier to record the audio live, because I've tried to sync up audio with video, and I realized that's the worst idea. You can do it the other way around, where you just record audio later, but you can't do it this way around. So anyways, though, you'll notice right off the bat, it kind of popped those Chivos up on the screen. Every island I found, so these are things that I've learned because, you know, like I said, I've already sort of played a little bit into the game. Every island has its own set of achievements in this game, so this island had those 3. The achievements on this island, as you can see, are sort of like, they are islands that have to do with this specific island, sort of like, these are the things that you're going to need to know to kind of learn how to start playing the game, like collect coins, do stuff. Here's the hermit up here, he's hanging out. He doesn't really have a lot of important shit to tell me so far, so, you know, you might as well throw some pots at him, all that shit. What I should really be doing, of course, though, is going along and finding where that necklace was going. But there are various chests hidden around here right at the beginning that I don't quite remember where they all are. Realistically, if I were a badass, I totally... There's just a few. Also, I should mention, of course, that chests appear on the map on the overworld. I don't remember if they appear on the map in the underworld, in the dungeon world, but there's definitely chests galore in the overworld. Well, I don't know if there's chests galore, but the chests appear on the map. So this game is an adventure game, not unlike Zelda, and it's from an isometric point of view. As I said, the reason I didn't really test my skills or test to see what was going on here was because I was super excited to play this game. So that's what I will talk about right now, is why I was so super excited to play this game. This game, you may notice that I talk about it as though it is new, but really, can you jump there yet? Nope. That's a secret. It's a later thing, I guess. So yeah, I talk about this game as though it's new, but this game has been out for, I would say, well over a year. I'd have to actually go look it up. I'll put it on screen if I remember when this game came out. Because what's interesting about this game is it is an iOS game, and so it originally came out for Apple tablets, which strikes me as very strange, because there's kind of this idea, in my head at least, this is like maybe just a preconceived like concept that I have, but it's like this idea that when something comes out for a tablet, it needs to be a game that relies heavily on touch controls, whereas this game definitely is not a game that relies heavily on touch controls, and instead it is like more of a controller game. So I don't know, it struck me personally as sort of weird that the developers would have chosen to make sort of more of a controller-based game as a tablet game right off the bat. But And so also, I guess I'll point out that what I found interesting about the fact that they chose to make this into more of a controller game, is that it seems to me like sometimes controls between a tablet game and a I don't know, a console game, I'll call it, even though this is on Steam. Computers are a console, right? So it seems to me like a big part of the difference between a tablet game and a controller game, this is the Hermit's Hideout, by the way, apparently, and you can pick up pretty much anything and just huck it around, which I appreciate, is it would have a hard time getting the controls to kind of like convert over well, I guess is the best way to say it. Because I have actually played one other game that was a game that got converted from being more of a Steam or more of a tablet game to a game on Steam, and that game was Lily Child of Geos. And I noticed in a big way when I was playing Lily Child of Geos that the controls actually seemed a little bit floaty. Like, it never really felt like the game was meant to be played in a certain way. Like, I definitely always felt that the way that I was playing the game, or the way the controls worked, were sort of just like seriously, floaty is the best word. Your character didn't move around with as much precision as maybe you would have liked. And so, I don't know, it never really quite worked out. What kept me going in Lily Child of Geos, and if you haven't played that, that's a pretty good game. I would suggest it for the tablet, although I can't imagine how the movement controls. So you move around in the world like it's an adventure game, but then the main combat system plays like a touch controls game. So Lily Child of Geos always kind of was strange to me, just because it played like it should have been on the PC, but then the combat was not like it should have been on the PC. The combat definitely fit with a tablet, and so it seems like an interesting choice to make a game on this console or that, when it seems as though the controls should be another way. By the way, POTS, as I learned earlier, this is something that you're now just learning for the first time, but because, like I said, I played 30 minutes of this game and failed, I found that POTS can be thrown at enemies for damage, which I thought personally was pretty neat. I think in a lot of games, just picking up like the tertiary items doesn't do a lot of damage. I know that it does in Zelda, and I got a regular key. I'm still a level 1 Vagrant, though. Even with all this sweet, sweet experience, I am still but a mere level 1 Vagrant. And by the way, that was me completing the first achievement on this island. So there are lots of achievements, because like I said, there's a list of achievements for every single island, so that'll keep you busy, but you can also stay busy in this game because, you know, you're exploring every little nook and cranny, as well as what am I trying to say? You're exploring every single nook and cranny, but you're also going in between this and that. You know, you can try and get every achievement in every area, or you can try and do other things. This bat is weird. This bat is really weird. I actually noticed the last time I was here, this bat's like hitbox doesn't seem to want to line up with my hitbox. I don't know if that's like, look, it's just flying over non-parts of the map, and then it comes down maybe sometimes if it feels like it wants to attack, and it's just easy to wreck. There we go. Last time I didn't kill the bat because it ran away and just never came around. I think it's cool too that things drop little like experience bubbles and that you can level up in this game, which is definitely something that I like in adventure games, because that always gives you sort of an extra little sense of progression, where it's like, yeah, you're getting different items and stuff, but on top of that, you can't... Oh, I was like, can I pick up this rock? dude, I bet you could wreck some enemies with the rock. Alright, pick up many kinds of things, and this is a magic reset button that'll reset the room. That's in case you do something wrong. By the way, the reason I knew to immediately... Oh, shoot! Well, that's what the magic reset button is for, is in case you accidentally throw instead of... There we go. Yeah, so when you're holding forward and you press A, it throws, and when you're just standing there, it drops. And so what you want to do is drop there and not throw, and I accidentally threw. That's actually really nice that the developer foresaw that people might make such a mistake and accidentally need to reset the room, especially in such a basic room. But I'm sure this game had plenty of playtesting. That's another thing that blew me away about this game, was it seems to... Now, aside from the fact that I'll try and show, you know, items don't have, like, good hit detection. It's really easy for me to, like, you know, go inside of a wall and shit like that. I'll admit that. This game definitely has, you know, not the best hitboxes and collision detection. Yeah, see, I'm just hanging out inside this rock like it's nobody's business. But that's not really the point that I was getting at. This game seems to have a lot of polish for a game that was originally an iOS game. And hitting start allows me to level, but I noticed that the level doesn't seem to be a huge deal. Like, I noticed that last time I got the level as well, that the level just doesn't seem to really matter all that much. Now, from this vantage point, I want to make sure there's a chest that I think you have to get to using special hit... No, the chest is just right here. Alright, cool. And this will just tell me about opening my menu for statistics. It's weird that you can read the sign, and it also does the other thing. But that's not a big deal. Now we get our sweet, sweet 10 coin reward. We have our sword, we have our mother's necklace, we have our shield. With the sword, of course, these spiders take less hits. The sword does slightly more damage, and apparently the spiders are scared of me now that I have a sword, apparently, or something. So they just run into the ocean to die. They're just like, oh my gosh, that guy's got a mother effing sword. I'm just gonna run straight into the ocean to die. I need to remember to dash more, too, when I play this game, because as you can see, you do have a stamina meter, although I noticed that the stamina meter seems to charge rather slowly, which makes dashing seem, in my mind, a little bit inefficient, and it's sort of hard to steer while you're dashing. So it strikes me as maybe dashing isn't the best method of transportation, and your stamina could possibly be used better off. But he was hiding these things for later, and of course my mother's necklace turns out to be the symbol of Arcadia, and now there's some voice acting.
A long time